Hey everyone, it's Adeline Vandyke with Coldwell Banker Faith Properties here with you at Home Free. And we are in the newly remodeled D Studio. Looks great, feels great, and we're glad to be back. So, joining us on the first show back is Amanda Reinfelds and Danielle Watson. Amanda is a realtor with me at Coldwell Banker Faith Properties. Started right out of high school. First real job was real estate. And so she's going to share a little bit about how it was to start at that age and what she did to become probably one of the most respected agents in the area. Oh, and then we have my daughter, Danielle. And she's just my daughter, and she gets to talk and drink wine with us. And she's not involved in real estate, but she's got some stuff to say.
Started right out the womb.
Yeah, right out the womb. So, Amanda, introduce yourself and tell us a little bit about you.
Okay, well, as Addy just said, my name is Amanda, and I work at Coldwell Banker Faith Properties, and I have been selling real estate here in the Utica area for almost 9 years now. Actually, March of this year, so in a couple months, will be 9 years. And I can't believe it's been that long. Time flies. I sometimes still think I'm like 12. I actually think I'm 80 as well, so it's kind of confusing. But time really flies, and it's been an amazing experience, and I definitely wouldn't trade it for anything.
Yeah, you've always wanted to do real estate, haven't you? I mean, that was your...
Yeah, kind of almost since I was in diapers. I moved for the first time when I was like 5 going on 6, and I was so fascinated with the process. I was kind of obsessed with our real estate agent and everything that he did to sell our house, and just kind of would get mad at my parents if they went to look at new houses while I was in school. And I just wanted to be immersed in like every single part of that process and look at the houses and talk about decor and learn what the real estate agent was doing. Was learning to read at the time, and this is back in the day when the MLS, the multiple listing service, was not on the internet.
Oh, it was
in a book, yeah, a big fat book, which some of you may remember. And you'd go into the realtor's office and kind of look through the book at the listings. And I wanted to read the listings to our real estate agent at the time. I was just so fascinated by everything with that process, and it kind of never went away.
I love that. It's one way to learn to read.
Yeah, I guess so. Funny story to insert. Not only was I trying to read the MLS book when I was 5 or 6, but I also once plastered my closet in pictures of houses from the local real estate magazine. It was kind of like a Mod Podge arts and crafts attempt. I don't really know why at this point, but it made sense when I was like 10.
So you started staging early as well.
Yeah, I guess so. Maybe not in the best of ways, though.
Well, you have to have a few fails before you have a win or two.
Yeah.
So how did you get started?
When I got started, it's actually funny because I had... like I said, an interest since I was really young, and my parents liked to buy houses and fix them and sell them, so I moved a lot as a kid, and there was a local real estate agent that we used a lot. She did maybe like 5 transactions for us, and I just was, again, fascinated with the process, and she knew I wanted to sell real estate when I was like 12, and I had moved to Florida for a few years, but then moved back to central New York, and when we moved back, we had called this agent again, and she kind of just asked me if I was still interested in being an agent, and I think I was about 16 at the time, and of course I was just ready to go. I couldn't wait to graduate high school and get right into a career in real estate, and she pretty much told me I had a job at her office, and I felt really lucky to have that connection at the time, and with that connection, found out how to sign up for real estate classes, which was kind of a rough market in 2009 when I got my license. So they actually had canceled the class at HCCC, which was the only local class at the time. Temporarily, like super devastating for me because I was waiting so long to be able to turn 18 and get my real estate license. But luckily, it was also the first year that they started offering online classes for becoming a salesperson. So took my class online, got my sponsoring broker, and kind of just jumped right in.
Determination.
Yeah.
I love that about you.
Oh,
you are very determined.
I try.
Now, what advice would you have for younger people trying to, get into the real estate market, and, what's the most important thing that they do?
I think one of the most important things is to remember that things take time. I know a lot of millennials, the people in my generation, they want like instant gratification. Everything with the internet these days and social media and texting gives us instant gratification when it comes to a lot of things, but you're essentially forming a business when you get into real estate, and it takes a lot of hard work and a lot of patience. And, you know, there are some people who jump right into it and make a great living and get a ton of clients and are super successful immediately. And then for some people, it does take a few years. I'd say for me, I really started being happy with the point I was at after maybe like 3 years in the business, but kind of just worked really hard in order to get to that point. Hard work usually equals success.
That 3-year mark, I think, was mine too.
Yeah.
That was when I finally said, okay, I'm going to make it. I'm going to be okay. We're not going to starve.
Yep. Yep. But it's definitely not a job where you can kind of just hop right into it and have a paycheck right away. If we don't close on a transaction, we don't get paid. And as you know, and of course a lot of people who've bought and sold real estate know, in New York State and in our area here, it takes a solid 60, 70 days to close a transaction a lot of times. So even if you sell a house your first day in the business, you're not getting paid for 60 or 70 days.
Yeah.
But it's important to just know that getting into it and kind of have a nest egg ready in order to pay your bills and get everything going.
Yeah, that's what I usually try to tell people too. You know, just have some source of income, some kind of something to fall back on.
Yeah,
it takes a while.
Yeah, once you get rolling though, it's amazing. Really, there's unlimited potential to the income aspect of the job, and it's just something that I really love about real estate. As the harder I work, the more potential I have to make more money, and there's nothing stopping me. Like in a lot of jobs where you're an employee, you kind of make the same amount of money no matter what you do.
Right, unless your boss is gracious enough to give you a raise.
Yeah, sometimes
we
you get
control
a bonus
our raises.
Yeah, sometimes
really
you get a bonus or a raise or something like that, but there's really just absolutely zero ceiling to your income potential in real estate.
Right. Yeah, and there's other things that you can do. Like you're a photographer. I mean, your photography is outstanding.
Oh, thank you. I appreciate that.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
You know, and you do some staging.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and you've done some teaching.
Yeah, there's a lot of different avenues you can get in real estate. It's not just being a salesperson. Like you just said, photography is a huge thing for me. I love taking photos, but having stellar listing photos also really just helps market your properties and get them to sell quicker. Something sellers really love to see in today's age when people are flipping through their phones on Zillow and all those kind of websites that just kind of throw those big, gorgeous, high-res photos in your face. They want to see impressive photos. And you know, that is something I really like to do along with staging and decor. So our colleague Lori and I, we're always out there taking photos, and she's a listing machine. So we're taking our photos, doing our staging, and it's a blast doing it together. So that's another thing in real estate that's really great, is the people that I get to work with, not just the clients, but the other agents. And if you could form a relationship with another agent that you can work closely with, it kind of just makes things even more fun. We definitely have a lot of laughs.
Oh, I agree completely. That's why Lori, Patty, and I, started the partnership, because it
absolutely.
It's a hard business, and you need somebody to cover you when you're on vacation, or Lori just had surgery, and thank goodness she's doing really well. And,
yes, she is.
And I'm bound and determined she's on this show one of these days.
We're gonna get you on here, Lori, if you're listening.
Lori, you're on. Don't ever worry, you're on.
Can't hide from us.
No, not at all. Now, Lori also owns Copper City Brewing, and you spend quite a bit of time there doing like the gift wrapping events. And
yeah, I've participated in a few events she's done there. But shameless plug, if you guys out there haven't been to Copper City Brewing in Rome, it's a great place to hang out. They make all their own beers there. They also have some New York State ciders and wines available, and
food trucks in the summer.
Yep, food trucks in the summer. There's a nice fireplace, leather couches. It's just a really cool, chill place to hang out.
It's
and
super comfortable.
Have a good time. Yeah.
Yeah. You got to give our friend Lori some love and her place up there, her and Danny.
Of course. But that's another great thing about real estate. Speaking of, you get to kind of have the opportunity to own another business or explore another endeavor in life, because you do have some freedom of your schedule. Sometimes you don't have much freedom because there's so much to do, but other times you do have a lot of freedom, and you don't have to only take a weekend off. You could take a weekday off here and there, or take a morning off, or a few mornings off if you want. I definitely
it's all in
don't
how
do
you
those
budget
mornings
your
so
time.
well.
definitely you have to budget your time.
For sure.
Yeah. Now you're really into the food and drink scene. Now you brought, what'd you bring tonight? This is you said this is the next big thing.
Dry rosé. I know a lot of you guys out there, guys and gals, maybe more gals than guys, like dry rosé. It's kind of the new Chardonnay, I suppose. This one that I brought, I don't know if you guys can see it. I'm kind of pointing it at you there. This is a Kelby James Russell dry rosé. The vintage is 2016. Kelby James Russell is a winemaker in the Finger Lakes. He actually works at Red Newt Cellars out on Seneca Lake. And if you Google him, you could probably find a bunch of cool information about him. I actually unexpectedly met him at Red Newt recently and was kind of starstruck. I normally wouldn't be starstruck by a celebrity, yet I am by a winemaker.
Well, you love your wine.
I do. But dry rosé is great because it's a wine that you drink chilled, and you can kind of use it, or drink it, I should say, with something like tacos all the way up to something like a steak, because it's kind of a lighter body, but it's also a drier wine. And Kelby James Russell's dry rosé just has a gorgeous color. I don't know if you can see it there, but just has a real nice deep color, and it's kind of got maybe like a little bit of a citric acidity to it, but a little bit of berry taste as well. So I think somebody who likes sweeter and drier wines might like it. Either
See,
or.
and I love this. That's how Amanda describes wine. And here I go. Thirsty Owl White Diamond Riesling. Just because I like it.
Just because she likes it. Well, this is just because I like it too. But I don't know. I'm not a wine expert. I don't have any training in the wine area, but I definitely like to explore specifically Finger Lakes wines. I think they're kind of like the underdogs in the wine world.
Well, and you have a little cheat sheet too. You have a friend who's, I like to call her the Winosaurus.
Yes.
Yeah,
yes.
she's quite knowledgeable with the wines. So.
Winosaurus, if you're listening out there,
hey, Alyssa.
Shout out to you, girlfriend. But we love to visit the Finger Lakes. Alyssa, who we just mentioned, and a couple of my other friends and I, we go all the time. And it's just really great wines that come out of that region that a lot of people don't know about.
Well, what are some of your favorites? Let's tell people.
Gosh.
I know.
There's so many.
Here comes the list.
There's so many.
Give us like the top 10.
My favorite winery, hands down, that I've discovered in the Finger Lakes so far is Shalestone Vineyards. They only do dry reds, and I'm personally a dry red drinker. I love to try all different kinds of wines. I don't ever like to say I don't like that one type.
Right.
I'm pretty determined to find a wine that I like of a certain type. So Shalestone, they make Syrah, they make Saperavi, which there's not a lot of growers of Saperavi in the Finger Lakes or really in the U.S., so it's kind of a cool opportunity to try a different dry red. Pinot Noir, they have a Cab Sauv, they have a red blend. There's all different dry reds there, and they're just fantastic. In my opinion, they're some of the best dry reds I've had that are on like a decent budget level,
right.
you know, $20, $30 bottles of wine for the most part.
Affordable, but delicious.
Absolutely. As far as whites, I like a lot of the whites from Lamoureux Landing, which is also on Seneca Lake. Shalestone that I just mentioned is on Seneca Lake. And they're great whites. They're Gewürztraminer. They're Grüner Veltliner. You have to kind of say that with a fun accent and bob your head.
And a little shake.
Yeah, Grüner. But I really like those two whites from there. They're fantastic. Just great taste. Great flow on your tongue and through your mouth, and they pair really well with a bunch of different foods, specifically tacos. I'm just going to keep plugging tacos.
Yeah, you love
tonight.
your tacos.
I do.
But all right, there's a restaurant up in the Finger Lakes. Is it Table?
Oh my God, don't even get me going on this
I know.
one.
Like, you've been there a couple of times now.
FLX.
Yeah, and I'm like,
cough as I say it.
Like, holy shit at the food, like really, like
I know.
Wow.
I'm so excited I can't even contain myself now.
I know, you almost choked. I'm like,
FLX Table in Geneva. There's a lot of restaurants I like in the Finger Lakes, just world class kind of food out there and wine. But FLX Table is fantastic, and it's so different because they have one table in the entire restaurant, and it seats 12 people. So if you get 12 people together, you can book the whole restaurant if you want.
Oh, that's awesome.
Or you can go alone, or you could go with 1, 2, 3 other people, as many as you want, as long as you make an advanced reservation. And you do have to pay for the reservation in advance because it is such a limited amount of seating in the restaurant. But the owner is a master somm. So he's just a wine expert beyond any other wine expert, so to speak. There's not many people in the States or really in the world who've ever passed the Master Somm test. So to me, when someone owns a restaurant who has that kind of knowledge in the wine world, you got to also do a wine pairing. And they have a few options for wine pairings there, all the way from like an inexpensive but solid collection of wines, all the way up to like, I think it's maybe about $150 for their most expensive pairing. And I've done the middle of the road each time I've been there. It's about $55 for the pairing, and it's well worth it. The staff there is amazing. Atmosphere is amazing. The food is super creative. It's plated beautifully, and it's great because it's kind of like you're dining in somebody's house.
Yeah, that's kind of like I would imagine like a rehearsal dinner or something.
Yeah.
You would have the whole restaurant, or a birthday, a special birthday.
Bachelorette party, special
anything
birthday.
Like that.
Actually, each time I've been there was somebody else celebrating a birthday with their family and their friends there.
Nice.
So great opportunity for that. I've been twice just because.
Yeah, because you deserve it.
Yeah.
Well, you work hard and you deserve to.
Yeah, you do have to plan in advance to go there. The reservations open up about a month and a half in advance. If you watch their Facebook page, it tells you when they open up. And I was so excited the first time I got a reservation because they were just booking quickly. FLX Table was actually rated by USA Today, I think it was their Reader's Choice poll, as the best new restaurant in the country for 2017.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, and we have that right here,
and
just a couple hours away in Geneva. So I hope you guys listening out there take the opportunity to get out to Geneva and try it.
It's in your backyard.
Yeah, absolutely.
Well, that and Taylor and Cook.
Taylor and the Cook as well, as far as literally being in our backyard.
Right,
Taylor
and winning
is,
awards and outstanding.
Yeah, Taylor's amazing. They actually, I don't know if they're serving it anymore, but they were serving the Kelby James Russell Dry Rosé there.
Very nice.
But regardless of whether they're serving this wine or not, they serve a lot of fabulous New York State wines at Taylor and the Cook as well.
And the food is outstanding.
Outstanding. Beyond amazing. Definitely my favorite restaurant in the area.
Yeah. I know that one.
Yeah. I don't keep that a secret.
So, Danielle, what's your favorite? If we had to pick a restaurant, we're going to get you involved here.
Oh.
I know. I'm doing this for the future son-in-law.
I don't know if I have a favorite, to be honest with
Really?
you.
Oh, come on.
I don't get out enough. She's saying she's an introvert. Like, I'm the true introvert. Oh, my God.
I am an introvert. People just don't all know it.
I don't know. I really like Ocean Blue because of the seafood and stuff. And then during the summer, you got that patio.
That view is outstanding.
Yeah, the view, the patio, they're both
that other
top-notch.
new restaurant, though, I forget what it's called.
Modus?
Yes, thank you. When she said Taylor and the Cook, I was like, there was
good.
like another restaurant.
That is so good. Actually,
Oh my
a
God.
friend of mine, his son is cooking there, and he's a phenomenal cook, Tyler Banks. So, and
You know what? I
So
really
good.
like Giorgio's, actually.
I like Giorgio's too.
Giorgio's is nice.
have pretty
Their
good
greens, the village greens.
Yeah, see, I'm not a greens person. I don't like boiled lettuce.
I was not. I wasn't a greens person either, but like I think it's the breadcrumbs
They
and
won
then
you
the
over?
peppers. Yeah, I really like it.
Maybe I'll try them someday.
You should.
It's a Utica thing.
It's a Utica thing. I know. I should learn to like them.
Yeah, Modus is fantastic, though.
That is
I've been there
outstanding.
twice for dinner and then again for a private party. And the drink selection, fantastic. New York State wines there as well,
Right.
which is great. They do a lot of farm-to-table stuff, so ingredients that are as local as possible. And fantastic menu, fantastic atmosphere. Just
The lamb was outstanding.
I have not
I was
had
there
lamb
for the
there
I
yet,
was
but I'll
there
have to try
for the
it.
party for a party, and it was so good.
Oh, the charcuterie tray at that same party.
Yes,
Fantastic. I'm all about the charcuterie.
I even found cheese that I like.
Yeah.
Yeah, which
there
is
was a
like-
manchego on that tray that was to die for, and they actually had the Three Village cheese gnocchelost on there. There's another
Yeah,
fun
see,
word where you got to bob
completely
your head
lost.
and have an accent.
I was lost
but,
at Manchego. Like,
Yeah, I'm lost.
Yeah. Oh, you got me going on food. I won't stop now.
Oh no. Oh, now who's the cheese guy?
The cheese guy. Oh, the cheese guy.
You know, everybody needs to know about the cheese guy.
are-
You probably shouldn't tell them about the cheese guy. Though he's going to be all out of cheese by the time you get there.
Yeah, but I gotta spread the cheese love.
You do. All right, so tell
Cheese
him.
love.
Tell him.
Okay, so Cheese Island, Isle de Formaggio. This is a gentleman from downstate who literally comes here with a truck full of cheese. He comes every other weekend. He has a Facebook page you guys can like as well. If you look up Isle di Formaggio, the Cheese Island on Facebook, I think it's pretty easy to find, and it'll tell you when he's up here, and he'll show some photos of the cheeses he's bringing, but everything he brings up here is like nothing you can buy in this area. Imported cheeses, you can taste them when you're there. It's kind of like my every other weekend Saturday morning tradition is to grab a cup of coffee at Cafe Domenico and then head over to Cheese Island right next door for some cheese sampling. I know it sounds like a bizarre breakfast, but
Oh no, it's perfect.
I'm all
It's
about
milk.
the cheese.
It's like it's
Yeah.
milk, you know?
Calcium.
yeah, he has this
good
Gouda
for you.
that we joke. I call it the prized Gouda. It's
Yeah,
super
I've seen
aged. I don't
Facebook
even know how
posts
many
about
years,
this
but
Gouda.
it's so aged that it just like crumbles when you cut it, and it has like crystals in it.
Now, what would you do with this Gouda?
Eat it.
You just eat it plain. See, I'm not a cheese lover, and I'm
Yeah,
bound
no.
and determined. I have been trying to find cheese that I like, and actually, I was at Nola's, and my friend Jansen Fay, he owns it,
Yep.
and he's the chef. Oh, he's so good. He actually had some kind of cheese, and it didn't melt, but it was like wrapped in prosciutto, and it almost tasted like
Ooh.
chicken. I'm like, so I had
Was
to.
it burrata?
Shit, now I can't remember.
Okay.
I'd have to look up my message from him, but I had to like find out what the hell
Is
kind
it
of
like
cheese it
mozz
was.
but not melted?
No, it just
Oh, so
it
it
doesn't
wasn't
melt. Like you
burrata.
can grill it and
Yeah.
it doesn't melt.
Oh,
so it was
it's
like wrapped-
halloumi.
That's it.
Halloumi, yeah.
That's it. Yes.
Three Village Cheese has a halloumi.
Do
so
they?
we have a local one around here.
Well, that
You
might
can
be where
grill it.
Jansen gets it from, but it was so good. He wrapped it in prosciutto and he had scallion sauce with it,
Yeah.
and oh my god, pine nuts. It was just
It's great in the summer grilled and then kind of cubed up with some watermelon and some mint.
oh, that sounds good.
Yeah.
Now, see, that's a cheese I can get behind.
Yeah.
It wasn't
See,
really cheesy.
Watermelon, cheese, mint. I don't know.
Don't be a
about
skeptic.
It. I don't
You
know
gotta try
about
it. Give it a whirl. Come on, I'm getting outside of my comfort zone with food. If I can do it at 45, you can at 26.
We'll see.
Cheese love. But back to Cheese Island, in
Yeah.
case anyone's wondering where it is next to Cafe Domenico on Genesee Street in South Utica. It's usually known as the other side.
Yep.
It's literally the other side of Cafe Domenico in the same building, right across from the Uptown Theater. Like I said, like his Facebook page to see when he's here. I am definitely a shameless promoter of Cheese Island. It's definitely one of my favorite things to do is go there.
Well,
and
he made a
test some
special trip up
cheeses.
here for Christmas, didn't he?
Yeah, and for
Yeah.
New Year's.
Very nice.
Yeah.
Very nice.
So great selection, amazing cheeses, anything from your simple like aged cheddars all the way up to parm and like stuff with truffles in it or with cranberries in it.
See, I'm going to do a Saturday morning cheese date with you. I'm
Oh,
bound and
yeah,
determined that
absolutely.
I'm finding cheese that I like.
Actually, our good friend Virginia Franco at our office, she calls it the cheese bus. She's probably
The
going to be a
cheese
little
bus.
embarrassed that I just said that. So in my head, it's always like the cheese bus. So I think that would be amazing, actually, to have a
we should have like a
cheese
whole
bus.
yeah. We should do a whole faith like group meeting there and
Oh
just
my
like
God.
cheese it all up.
Yeah, ask him to close it down.
Yeah,
he's
just,
probably gonna
just
like
for
what?
faith people.
We'll have to send
We'll
this
bring
link
them right to
him.
the office.
There
Can't
you
we just
go.
bring them right to the office?
Yeah.
Just back your bus up. We're gonna unload the bus.
Listen, cheese man, back it up. We got a bunch of realtors who like cheese here.
Yeah,
You
or
have
who are
that
trying
whole
to.
parking lot.
I
so-
know. There's like plenty of room. I like this idea.
I know too. Solid.
Yeah, cheese
Solid.
day at Faith.
So Danielle, if you don't necessarily have a ultimate favorite local restaurant, do you have an ultimate favorite place to go have a drink?
Well, when you were talking about wineries that you like, I actually like Owera Vineyards.
Mhm.
I like their Betty's White.
Yeah.
And not
And
just
where's
because it
that?
reminds me of the actress. I have
Oh.
no idea where that is. I've never been. I don't get out much. I'm
You
not
should
even
get there
kidding.
if you love
I
it.
should get
if you
there.
love
Where?
the wine.
I see. I had it at Mohawk Valley Winery,
yeah.
so I do enjoy. I like the Stife too. That's not bad. They have good martinis. I have to get over to
The Dev-
Devereaux's. Yeah.
Yeah, the Johnny Devereaux Tavern.
Yeah, they had some pretzels with cheese that look good.
Their food is really good.
That sounds amazing.
I
Too
know,
bad I'm
right?
gluten-free and can't eat it. Thanks for rubbing it in.
I didn't rub that in. I was just saying it looked good. I haven't had
They'll
any
make
yet.
they'll make some alternatives for you.
Okay. I could just eat cheese.
Yeah.
You could.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who needs pretzels when you have cheese?
Nobody.
They're extra calories that I will eat for you.
There you go.
Sounds good.
That's so nice.
Isn't
it?
Aw, Danielle.
So sweet. So what are your favorite drinkeries? Just not
Drinkeries.
Yeah, drinkeries. What's your favorite
drink?
Where you
What's your
frolic to
favorite
drink.
pub?
The drinkery.
Okay, so I tend to also drink at restaurants. I feel like I can't ever just drink. Like, I always want food. I just want to eat food 24/7.
Yeah, and she's
But,
about like 3 inches thick.
I feel like all the girls that really eat a lot of food are.
Yeah.
One of my coworkers says she feels I have a tapeworm
Oh,
because she doesn't know where it goes.
I've
Tell
heard
her
that
it's-
before too.
Yeah, right.
Tell her it just runs in your family.
Oh
We're
yeah,
all
I ate a
kinda
whole
slender.
large sub today from Tony's, and they're like, "Where do you put it?" And I was like, "I don't know."
Gotta enjoy it. You can't just eat to live. You gotta
Yeah.
enjoy the experience. Food is art. Food is like a sensory experience.
If it's not something I like, I'm just not eating it. I
Yeah.
just,
As far as going out for drinks, though, I really love going out for drinks at Ocean Blue, especially in the summer. They make some really great cocktails
Right.
there. They Red Blend number 4. Really love Red Blend number 4. It's fantastic. Love to sit out on the patio and just enjoy the sunset, enjoy the views.
Yeah, that view
the
is
nice weather.
spectacular.
If it's nice and sunny out, it's just a great experience out there. Modus, which we already mentioned. I had a bourbon there recently that was just extraordinary. I think it was called Widow Jane, and it's made somewhere towards downstate. And I believe that the water in it comes from like limestone or something like that. I'm not an expert,
So it's like
I don't know if
filtered through
I'm
limestone.
yeah,
and-
yeah, I think that's what it is. But it was so
Interesting.
smooth, no pucker, and then just like great warmth that rises after you drink it. So it's a great thing to sip on a winter night.
Danielle just perked up. She
I
was like,
did.
"Yeah."
I honestly, my first thought was, I know where I'm going besides Deborah's.
Absolutely.
Have you been to Wakely's?
I have not actually. I try to make it everywhere, but I haven't been there yet. I think I kind of had like a loose plan to go there once, and then something happened.
The
and-
atmosphere's different there than any
Yeah.
other place on Varick, so you might like it, honestly.
Cool.
Yeah.
I actually have a chip still for there.
Oh,
that
for
I
Wakely's?
Yeah, I have not used it yet.
You have to
get
get
back
there and
there.
use it then.
Yeah.
I would, yeah.
How about you, Addy? Where's your favorite place to
Oh.
eat or drink here?
Well, hands down, Nola's.
Yeah.
Just because I know the owner. I love the owner. I worked with him 100 years ago when I was tending bar, and he was just starting out. And so just, I love him. I have to love the restaurant. The food is outstanding, too, so that helps.
Absolutely. I love Nola's too.
The Devereaux, Johnny Devereaux's Tavern has been like my favorite go-to place to have a cocktail lately. I love what they've done with it.
That
They've-
new Property Sister drink that you were having?
Yes,
that
they have a
looked
good.
good. That caught
There
my
is
eye.
a Property Sister drink. It's a raspberry lemonade martini.
Oh, that does sound like a Property Sisters
Doesn't
drink.
it? It's like perfect. It's a perfect mix.
Absolutely.
So, yeah, I kind of like there. Really, I can have fun anywhere, though. If you're with good people, you can have fun anywhere. Only boring people have boring times.
She
That's
was
right.
having a mimosa kick over the holidays.
Oh, yeah.
I was. Oh my God! I went through like 5 bottles of champagne.
Oh,
5.
Champs.
Just
I'm down with the
5.
champs.
On New
Just
Year's Eve.
5.
On New Year's Eve.
So
There might have been a
have
couple other cases in
I
Christmas
can't
Eve
tell.
and
I
Christmas.
think I ran to the store at least twice for champagne.
It's necessary.
Well, you know what? It was like the one time that clients weren't really calling me, and my phone was really quiet, and I was like, "Wow, these taste really good."
No, they were good. You don't have mimosas
so-
often.
No,
So,
I
like, once you
don't.
start having them, you remember how great they are, and they're so rare. So you're like, yeah, let's have 10.
Yeah, I recently
let's have
discovered
40.
a new favorite champagne, actually.
Ooh,
Go figure, it's Finger Lakes.
okay.
Kind of partial.
But it's dry.
It is dry, but, when you start mixing it with juice and stuff,
Yeah,
does it really matter?
Yeah, no, I
No.
do the dry too.
I like it on its own, but I think if you're not a dry drinker, you could mix it with some OJ
Right.
or maybe even like cranberry juice.
Yeah, some
and
champagne
make some
cocktails.
Fun champagne cocktail. Throw some pomegranate seeds in there or
Yeah.
something like that.
Float
I
of
don't know.
cranberry.
Yeah. It's no fun without the garnishes. But I discovered the Blanc de Noir at Dr. Constantine Frank, and it is fantastic. It's like micro bubbles bursting in your mouth. Like it's
Okay.
just solid fizz, and it's super fun to drink. There's just something about it that I love. And I actually recently, within the past few weeks, went back to the Finger Lakes with some friends, and the entire way there we're like, oh, Blanc de Noir, Blanc de Noir. Like that was the whole point of the trip. We're like, we gotta go get Blanc de Noir.
So then you can't get it at one of the stores over here, huh?
I'm not sure, actually. I just kind of like an excuse to have to go to the Finger Lakes.
I'm going to Boston. We're making mimosas, so I was wondering.
Have to check it out.
There's a Hawaiian mimosa recipe that Kelly shared. It's Malibu, pineapple, and then champagne. With
Well, try
a
either
cherry
Seneca or
for
Brahmers.
garnish.
I think those would be your top two that would have it.
Probably, yeah.
Amanda will text it to you.
Yeah, I'll have to do
Yeah,
some
I'm not
research
going to remember
on that
the
one.
name of it, honestly, so please.
I'll text it to you.
Yeah.
Text it to you for sure. Speaking of clients not calling you because it was the holidays, this was actually like the busiest holiday season for me in real estate.
I agree. I actually didn't have calls on like Christmas, Christmas Eve, but I've sold like a house a day.
Yeah.
It's been crazy.
It's been so busy. I wrote an offer on a farm I have listed today. Like it's great. I'm so happy. We're working on negotiating it right now. But
Beautiful.
when you think about it, it's like, wow, a farm in central New York
In January.
It's below zero wind chills in January. It's kind of crazy. It was almost unheard of before, and it's been just such a great
this
market.
market's
That's awesome.
yeah, this year has been very, very unique. I have to say.
It's been great.
Yeah.
Did you get a lot of calls during the holidays, like Christmas Day, Christmas Eve?
Not really like Christmas Day or Christmas Eve, which was nice. I've
It
actually in the
is.
past written an offer on Christmas Day because, sometimes you got to
I've been
do
there
what you
too.
got to do.
Yeah.
But it was nice to have a legit day off on Christmas Eve and Christmas Day. I want to say I didn't have any texts or calls or emails, and just spent some time with friends and cooked a lot of food and just kind of chilled out and got an opportunity to relax.
Yeah, I think I maybe had 10 calls, text messages.
Honestly, though, I didn't even notice. And from a family perspective, like seriously, I appreciated it, and I think it was very considerate. I liked it.
Yeah.
To be honest.
My family's a little used to my head buried in my
I
phone.
swear to God, she works all the time. I don't know when she's not working. Like the other day, Brad's like, your mom's selling a house like every week. And I'm like, she works all the time. I come home from work and she's on the computer clicking away, working, like, which is fantastic. If somebody needs a realtor, you will definitely put in the work.
Yeah.
So
I just work until the work is done. And when the work is done, I'm sad.
I feel like
Work
there's
is
no
done
more
for,
work. I feel like you're one of
there's no
those
more
I'll
work to
sleep when
do.
I'm dead.
Yeah, the
Yeah,
work is done for like
exactly.
25 seconds, and then there's something else.
Yeah, so
there's
I'm not
always
sad
something
often.
Yeah. You ever think you like have an entire day off and you wake up in the morning, maybe you slept in a bit. I mean, I sleep in
yeah.
all the time because I don't
And
do
you wake
morning.
up to, oh my God, all hell broke loose.
Yeah, so you think you have a day off and you're like, oh, I'm going to like paint that bedroom in my house I've been meaning to paint for the last 64.6 years. And you wake up, you make your cup of coffee, tea, whatever you drink, and all of a sudden your phone is blowing up. And you're like, oh, well, I touched the paintbrush today. I didn't even open the can of paint or use the brush, but I touched it.
Yeah.
That's progress.
I thought about it.
Yeah.
Yeah, and then the heater's not working, or the pipes burst, or I need to see this house.
Yeah. Oh, pipes bursting. I wonder how many people had that problem this past week.
It was bad. My sister actually.
The toilet seat.
My sister today,
downstairs.
her toilet cracked in her basement. She
Oh
has
my gosh.
like a raised ranch walkout
Yeah.
basement, and her toilet cracked.
Yeah.
And she calls my mother, but she doesn't call me. I'm like, Luann,
Well,
do
I
you
think-
really think Mom's going to tell you to duct tape it? That's my mother's fix for everything. I'm
It
like,
really is.
Call
though.
me and I'll
It
tell
really
you.
is. She's not kidding.
no, she duct tapes
She
everything.
actually didn't. She think somebody broke in and was like using her water or something. She had a.
She thought
bat.
somebody was
What
taking
was
a
she
shower.
Do?
Someone's like, I really got it.
I love my sister, but sometimes she
break in
doesn't.
this house.
Yeah. Yeah, I need to take a shower, so I'm just gonna break in here and take a shower.
You never know.
No, so
Maybe-
she's
maybe
walking
do
around
some
with
laundry.
a baseball bat, and I'm like, Lulu, you're so pretty. You're so pretty.
Makes for a good story, though.
It does. Oh my God, I was cracking up. My mother's telling me, I'm like, and she called you.
You have to figure, though, if they're taking a shower, they're probably not armed. So the bat is a good idea.
Odds are they're
likely.
defenseless in the shower. Good point,
No.
Danielle. Very
Thank
good
you.
point.
Yeah,
Lulu.
didn't you study like forensics and crime-related things in college? So you would be the one to come
I
up
have
with
a
that.
bachelor's in forensic anthropology, so I always think of weird stuff.
Yeah,
Weird
my
scenarios.
daughter's quite a brainiac. She's impressive too. She has been on mass burials in Ohio that were Spanish flu.
They're excavations,
Oh, I'm
by the
sorry.
way.
Pardon
I
me.
wasn't burying anything.
No, sorry. Please tell Danielle
A
what you
mass
do in
burial.
Ohio.
What we do is we got into a big group and buried everything. No.
Punk.
And besides, we're not really supposed to talk
Oh,
about
that's
it.
right.
Anything that's on
But
the
it was
news,
in the
we can
newspaper.
talk. Well, yeah, I know, but I can't recall now what was in the news, so I don't exactly want to talk about
Right.
it because God forbid I say something that I shouldn't.
Right. Well,
So.
I recall that there was a Spanish flu outbreak in the 1800s.
And I remember it was in someone's yard, and they were so upset that we were digging up their yard. But
Oh
like,
my
you know,
gosh.
it's hard to draw the line there. You know, like you
Yeah.
got dead bodies in your yard. They were actually doing like construction on the side of the road, and then they uncovered it. And you know, I don't get grossed out by anything, as you know. Like my
No,
dad
yeah,
texted
she's-
me the other day asking me when I was gonna be home, and I didn't know why. And he goes, "I heard the dog start to throw up." So of course I'm the one that cleans that stuff up because nothing grosses me out. But like, yeah, I remember picking up, I think, a mandible with my bare hands because, you know, not many diseases are carried in bone. So put them in the paper bag, mark it up, you're good to go.
All stuff I know nothing about.
No. Well, it's so fascinating. One of your professors found a new species between.
Yeah.
All right. Mention that
Homo
because.
naledi.
Yeah, please mention that because it's so fascinating.
The only thing I can recall about it was during class she had to leave for like a month or so because they were going to work on this new species, and originally she was brought in because of her work with the hyoid, I believe, if I'm recalling this properly. But then it turns out that the bone that they had found wasn't a hyoid or something like that. Just look it up online, guys. Just Google it, okay? Homo naledi.
Homo naledi.
Yes.
And it's between Homo sapiens and Neanderthals, right? There was another species, like.
I don't believe that placement's proper, actually. No, I can't recall now. See, I've been out of school too long. That's the thing. You gotta, like, stay in the field and keep up on it. And I have not been.
No. You need to.
I know the state troopers or the Rome PD should just accept me.
They would be lucky to have you.
Hint, hint, hint.
Hint, hint.
Danielle
Nudge,
Watson.
nudge, forensic unit, nudge, nudge, Rome, nudge, nudge.
Bachelor in Forensics from Mercyhurst University.
Yeah.
Rated one of the top schools for forensics.
They're actually, I believe, last time I checked, the only school in the U.S. with an undergrad in it.
Nice.
So
Very nice. It was a great school.
it was a great school, yeah. And I enjoyed it. I mean, I went on cases with the FBI and local law enforcement, state law enforcement. You know, like, it was a good experience.
Yeah.
And I suppose I could move somewhere else and do it, but even then, like, I know.
Can't leave the CNY.
The only reason she
No.
doesn't want me to leave is because she wants grandbabies, and that
Uh-oh.
person on that last show was saying I'm going to get pregnant this year. Like, my
no.
God.
I know. Wait,
No.
we like the new guy.
You
He
like the
comes
new
from a
guy?
good family.
Oh, my God.
He's like the way he treats his sister is. I've been watching this shit.
Okay,
I'm
still
a
think-
stalker. You know I'm a stalker.
I
I've
still
been
think
stalking
this
kid
year's a
for
little
months.
soon.
You're a
Oh, this
stalker.
year's totally too soon.
You're a
But
stalker.
2019, come on. I could have a grandbaby in 19.
You know what? I think first, before I have a baby, I need a house. Right, ladies?
Yeah.
Like a house.
Well, yeah, we'll get you.
Yeah, there's a few people around who can help you with that.
Yeah,
I suppose.
Yeah, we know a couple people. We might be able to even figure out how to do that.
Yeah.
We'll read a book.
Do they have real estate for dummies?
They do.
There is, yeah.
There's a couple of real estate
Maybe I'll
dummies.
get it. Great.
No, there's plenty of books out there about getting into real estate, and I'm sure there's little bits and pieces you can pick up from them. But I think the best learning experience is just from immersing yourself in the business and kind of watching what other experienced agents do.
And when you're looking, study, watch the market, see what's coming up, see what's selling.
Instead, I think
Because
I'll
it
just get a
opens.
realtor for that. That sounds like way too much work.
Are you
I'm
gonna-
not really into it. I'm like a lazy smart person.
Are you going to listen to your realtor, or are you going to argue with her because she's your mother?
Uh-oh.
I don't know. I think we did fine when I
Yeah,
was
we
thinking
did do
about
fine.
looking at a house.
Yeah, we did.
I think we'll do all right.
I do too, because you listen to me when it's important.
I'm at an age where I listen well.
Yeah, you know, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
So Amanda is going to do a little thing right now for our new sponsor.
Oh, yes.
Yeah, so please hold. We're going to do a little commercial break. Amanda?
In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Caldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.
Very nice. How do you
Very
like
well
that?
done.
Hey, Keith, there's your plug.
Yay, Caldwell Banker Faith.
Yay.
Woo!
Oh, we have a message. What? Awesome. Was it? We got it. That was fucking awesome.
Uh-oh. Are we allowed to say that?
We are. We can say whatever we want.
Oh.
We're uncensored radio.
Yeah, I know. That's one thing I enjoyed about coming on here. I've got a very bad mouth. So I was like, you know what? If I slip up, it's fine. They love it.
It's totally okay when Danielle's talking and she's like, a beep, the beep, and beep.
Honestly, I think I would enjoy the beeps a bit more. It's
It would
just
be
kind of
funny.
fun throwing in there.
Yeah, we'll get a couple of beeps in here.
A long
beep.
We're having a good old time here tonight.
I know. We're like just drinking wine and chatting. So what else do we want to talk about?
What else do we want to talk about?
Leadership Mohawk Valley.
Yes.
Now, I'm very proud of you.
Oh, thank you.
You know, I'm so proud of you.
I know.
That you did so well with that.
Thank you. Thank you.
All right, so tell us a little bit about it.
So Leadership Mohawk Valley, for those of you that have not heard of it, is a local organization that hosts a series of program days every year for local professionals and also people in like management type positions or leadership type positions. And it's basically just a great way to learn some extra skills, to network with people, to get involved in your community. Everybody kind of takes away a different thing from the program, I think. For me, I definitely learned a lot of things about interacting with different personality types, as well as interacting within like a team or a group. Being that I'm an only child and I work kind of solo in my profession as an independent contractor, I feel like I do sometimes struggle working in like a team environment. So I definitely picked up some awesome skills and tips that I think helped me work with a team. At our local board of realtors, I was a director in 2017 on our board, and I'm actually secretary for this year in 2018. So I learned a lot of things that are helping me with that experience as well, serving on a board. There's, I believe, 10 program days throughout the year. So I was class of 2017. Class of 2018 has been underway since end of summer, beginning of fall. And if anybody's interested in participating in that program, they do have a website. If you just kind of Google Leadership Mohawk Valley, you should be able to find the website. They have a Facebook page as well. And
Get in the
It's
class
just-
of 19.
yeah, get in the class of 19. I think interviews probably start in a few months for that. And it's a great experience. A lot of people's employers locally with like big companies are already kind of involved with Leadership Mohawk Valley, and they do send people to the program, maybe every year, every so often. But,
Let's give a
if
plug
you're...
to a couple of those companies, because I really think that shows that you really care, about your employees, about your community. So who are some of the companies that do
in
that?
my class of 2017, we had people from Rome Labs. We had people from AmeriQ. We had a few self-employed people, such as myself, who were there kind of on our own merit, just because we really wanted to soak up that experience. There were people from Gilroy, Kernan, and Gilroy, all kinds of local businesses. There's so many, I don't want to leave anybody out.
So look it up. Find out who's participating in Leadership Mohawk Valley. See who really cares about your community, and let's start supporting some of these things.
We each, our teams throughout the year, I don't want to leave out like the most important parts, but throughout these program days, not only did we learn different skills and get to meet other people in the community, but we got to learn about the businesses themselves. So we had some program days at like the ARC, and then we were also at Catholic Charities. And while we were there, we got to learn about what those organizations do in our community. Kids Oneida was another one. And it just kind of really opened my eyes to all the cool things that these organizations do in our community, and the time that the people that work there spend just improving our community and helping people make their lives better. So within those 10 months, we also divided into teams. There's about 40 participants in the class, and I think we were about 5 teams of 8 maybe. And we each team chose a different topic, or you were chosen for a topic, I suppose I should say, like health or education or arts and culture. And your team throughout those 10 months did a project that helped that certain area in our community.
I love your project.
I was on the arts and culture team, and it was up to us to choose who we worked with as far as an organization and what we did as a project. So you kind of just get a topic, and then you use your skill set within your group and use everybody's skill set to kind of come up with a project to do. And you don't necessarily have to fully execute that project, but at least kind of lay some groundwork so that maybe it could be fully executed one day. So we worked with Oneida County Tourism and helping them develop a Mohawk Valley photography trail. So it tied in with Instagram a lot. There's still a lot of things in the works with that. Some things are changing up from our original plan, and I know they kind of took some of the research we did and some of the groundwork that we laid to help them promote themselves on social media. So that was really cool.
Which is big. Yeah. Isn't that a great feeling?
Yeah, and I love Instagram and photography. So for me personally, it was really cool to do that. But I made friends through the program. I made business connections, and like I said, most importantly, I learned a lot about myself and about interacting with other people in different personality types and working on a team. So I feel like I really grew a lot, both personally and professionally, through the program. And Ann Rushlow, who's executive director of the program, she actually became my neighbor since too.
I love that.
I sold her a house across the street from me, so that's really awesome that she's also become a friend and a neighbor.
Oh, yeah. Oh, I love that.
Yeah, so that's pretty priceless in itself.
Yeah, oh, yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
And priceless home inspections.
Yes,
I love our
yes.
Josh.
Who also
Josh
did
is
the
another
home inspection
sponsor,
on
too.
that house.
Did he?
Yes.
See? Josh does a lot of our inspections. We love our Josh.
Yes, we do.
He's another sponsor of the show.
He's also a supporter of Cheese Island, just saying.
Yeah. Josh is really a supporter of a lot of things.
Yes, he is.
He picks different charities, and he donates a percentage of his income every week. I like Josh. He's a good guy.
Didn't he do that Addy's thing? That
He did.
you were doing?
He brought in a bunch of toys for when my friend Tommy and Missy Lamock were in for Addy's Angels.
Oh, cool.
And yeah,
maybe Josh should go through Leadership Mohawk Valley.
Josh
hint, if you're listening.
Oh my God, he would be an
Right?
awesome candidate for Leadership Mohawk Valley.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, Josh, we'll be calling you in a little bit.
That's right.
Love it. Okay, hold on. We've got no. Sorry, thought we had a question. I was
False
looking.
alarm.
False alarm.
False alarm.
No question.
No questions.
So where can people find the trail page? Is it on the Oneida County Tourism page?
As far as I know, it's kind of something that's still in the works. I think right now they're using the groundwork that we laid to just kind of help build their Instagram following and things like that. So right now, there's probably not a whole lot as far as the trail in its entirety, but definitely like Oneida County Tourism on Facebook and follow them on Instagram because they've been posting some really cool pictures lately.
Nice. Well, what are some of the stops on the trail? Can you share some of the stops?
We worked on so many different locations with that, and again, I don't really know where it's going as of right now. A lot of projects with Leadership Mohawk Valley, actually, you lay the groundwork for them, and sometimes nothing happens for like a couple years, and then all of a sudden it comes to fruition. So I believe, hopefully I'm not wrong, but the Boilermaker like road markers, I want to say those were a Leadership Mohawk Valley program to my project, to my knowledge. So there's little things around the community that kind of were created by teams in the program, and then kind of just sat because things take a while to develop, and then kind of actually did come to fruition later on. So I know that right now, like I said, Oneida County Tourism is doing a great job with their social media pages, and everybody should like them and follow them, and just look at the cool things that they're posting.
And know your home.
Yeah, you might find some places that you didn't know about, even if you've lived here for 20, 30, 40 or more years. There's so many things to do locally. I hate when people are like, ugh,
there's nothing
anything to
do.
So not true. I have so much to do.
Only boring people have boring times. If you have nothing to do, you're not looking. You really get off your ass.
There's so much to explore. Like, even if you're not, like, a lot of it is outdoors, which for me is fantastic. I'm super outdoorsy and I love that. But even if you're not outdoorsy, there's so much to see and do here. There's so much history. There's so much art in our community. There's so much diversity as well. Like, there's great ethnic restaurants to explore, ethnic grocery stores even. There's cool foods you can get by going into some of the different ethnic grocery stores throughout Utica that you might have no clue what they are. Like, I recently made a dish, Tom Kha Gai. I don't know if I'm pronouncing that right, but it's like a Thai or Vietnamese kind of soup. And I went to Lucky May's Market, I think that's what it's called, on Oneida Street. And there's this ingredient, I think it's pronounced galanga.
She doesn't know what she's eating, but it really is good.
It's spelled Galangal, I think. And I had no clue what it was when I looked at the recipe. This was one of the few times I actually looked at a recipe when I was cooking. And I was like Googling how to identify galanga, or however you pronounce it, and I'm like walking into the store and I'm thinking like, they gotta have it here, and I'm
you're
like,
just like with your phone, dude, I need this.
I know, I like studied the picture on my phone, and I get into the store and I see it and I like zeroed right in on it, and I picked it up and I was like, yes, out loud, and I'm pretty sure I got some weird looks, but like you might think you can't find things like that here, but you really can. You just kind of got to know where to go.
Well, we have so many different people here. I mean, there's a Bosnian bakery down at by Albany Street that.
Yeah, fantastic.
Yeah, well, Ismail, I don't even know what they're called, so I'm like such an asshole, but it's like a little meat ring in a pastry.
Okay.
And, oh my God, so good.
Yeah.
Yeah, and Ismail introduced us to him like years ago, and it's just.
So you go to Cafe Hummus and you ask for the meat ring and the pastry.
No, it's not Cafe Hummus. Cafe Hummus also is excellent. The only hummus I will eat because
where
it's
can
smooth
people
and creamy.
Go for this meat ring and
I
the
can't
pastry?
remember I would have to take them there. If you want the meat, hey, if
I'm
you want
sure
meat
a lot
ring,
of people would love to
when
go
you
there.
said
if you want
it's
meat
near
ring,
Albany?
give me a call.
Albany and what?
Albany and shit.
Like Elizabeth, maybe? I think I know. Is it a grocery store and a restaurant in one?
And they have the
is it Rusnick's? Is that it? Something like that?
It's it's near Ventura's.
Okay.
And they've got the meat ring on the picture of the sign.
Just drive down Albany Street and look for the meat ring.
Drive up Albany Street. When you see the meat ring, stop. It's wrapped in pastry. You need it. It's so good.
Moments when I wish I was not gluten-free.
Yeah.
Oh, all right. Well, it made me think of Lotus Garden. I actually really like Lotus Garden. So they have some
Lotus
pretty good
Garden
stuff. And I'm pretty sure a lot of it doesn't have gluten in it.
Yeah, I mean, soy sauce has gluten in it unless it's a gluten-free soy sauce. So that's kind of the hard thing with some Asian cuisine. But rice noodles are fantastic, actually. Just had rice noodles in my soup before I came here today.
I like a dish there. It's like spicy. It's got the noodles. They're wide noodles and then Chinese broccoli.
Like drunken noodles? Is it like drunken noodles?
I think it's like that. I just don't know the name of it because it's long and I could not pronounce it for my life whenever I call them, actually. I describe the item when I'm ordering it.
I want the long noodles.
There's no way. I'm like, on the menu, it's like the fourth one down on specials. No, because you can't say it.
Yeah.
It's like 4 words and I'm like, nope.
If you like it that much, you're going to have to learn how to say it.
You know, next time I get
And
it,
you'll
I'll
impress
come
the
in and
shit
I'll
out
be
of
like,
them.
how do you say this?
Yes.
It's always nice to know how to pronounce things.
I'll have to do it next time. I'll be
I'm like a stickler for that. I hate like mispronouncing someone's
Yes,
name or
the
something
grammar
like that.
police. You
Grammar.
are.
Whoops. But mispronouncing someone's name or
Is
like just
awful,
the
yeah.
title of something or name of something is
I
is
would rather
terrible.
be corrected though than going around saying something wrong.
Right.
I always want
Absolutely.
someone to
Yes.
correct me because
Yes.
if you're
Yeah.
not telling me I'm saying something wrong and you're sitting here letting me say it wrong, how
Then-
dare you?
Yeah. Then you're the jerk, really, if you're not saying anything. But for the mispronouncing names, don't feel too bad.
No, seriously.
Those of us with
I work-
odd names, we're used to it. It really just doesn't even affect me anymore. When it's,
I work in
can I
healthcare.
talk with Miss
some of the names.
Adeline Vandyke?
Your name's not that
And
odd,
I'm like,
though.
yeah, no, it's Adeline. It's
We've heard some
Right there.
stuff though.
Adeline.
yeah, we have heard some stuff.
Adeline.
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 Just some
It's like
weird
tortellini.
ones.
Yeah. And I'm like, where are you getting the eenie?
All right, but
There's no I.
no, listen, I work in healthcare and there's a lot of different people that I work with, a lot of different names. And I'm not going to lie, sometimes I look at names and I'm like, oh God, am I going with the first name or the last name? Which one can I say, the least incorrect?
That's when you're like, hi, Mr. V.
Someone's name was literally Amy, but the way it was spelled, you never...
AIMEEH.
It was just no. Yeah, I went out and I said Ami. Like and then she was like, "You mean Amy?" And I'm like, "Well, why don't you spell it that way?"
AHYMAE.
Just for God's sake, all right? Your parents signed you up for this. I'm very sorry.
Yeah,
But-
my first name's pretty easy. I don't know that anyone ever has messed up Amanda.
No, that's a good one.
Yeah, I don't really. I mean, I've had people think they can just call me Mandy. Like,
Oh.
my good friends can call me Mandy, but if a stranger's like, Mandy, I'm
Yeah,
like,
I used to have a problem with people
You're
that I'm
not
not
a
friends
Mandy.
with calling me Danny. Like if you're my
Yeah.
friend, you can call me Danny, but if not,
That
my
was your
name,
that
yeah.
was your mama's nickname. They couldn't
Yeah.
call you that.
only my friends.
Well, yeah.
Like people
Those
that don't
will
know
allow.
me calling me Danny. I get it. Like
Yeah.
if you don't know me, why are you calling me Danny? You may
Yeah.
call me Miss Watson. No, I'm just kidding.
Miss Watson, if you're nasty.
oh boy.
But you're definitely not a Mandy.
No.
I would
No.
not.
No. You know, my last name, though, I don't think it's that hard to pronounce. Like, Reinfelds. I think it sounds exactly how it looks. I could see someone saying, like, Reinfelds, maybe.
Yeah.
But sometimes I get, like, Reinsfeld, and I'm like, the S is at the end, not in the middle. Okay. Like,
But nice try.
yeah, nice try. And then sometimes that I've had Seinfeld before. They're like, Amanda Seinfeld. I'm like, nope, S is at the end, not the beginning.
The
And
R
there's an
does not
R?
make an S sound.
But it is spelled like Seinfeld, kind of, just with an R in the beginning.
So start with
Yeah, yeah.
Give
Well,
it that
that's like
R
Lori.
sound.
Frieden. Well, I don't know.
Friedman.
Yes. Oh my gosh. There's like so many different ways I've heard her name pronounced.
gosh.
And it's like
I remember as a kid one time my dad
she's
got...
Milo's mom.
Yes, Milo's mommy. My dad got mail one time when I was pretty young, and it said his name was Addis, spelled A-T-I-S. People mess that up all the time. But he got mail that said Atisi, like A-T-I-S-I or something like that, and the last name was Reinfeldo.
Oh.
I was like, that is a really kind of exotic sounding name. Atisi Reinfeldo.
That's a little sexy.
Yeah, it was a little off though.
Well,
like
shit,
I don't
do
know
they
where
know
the
my
O
dad?
came from. So yeah, names and pronunciation of names, that's an interesting topic.
Yeah, that's tough. That really is tough. I have a hard time. I work with quite a few foreigners, and it's
I would rather know how to say their name, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I always
when I
ask.
call them back, and obviously I say their name wrong, I'm like, how do you say your name?
yeah.
That
And,
way I
do
can
that
say
in-
it properly.
I do that in grocery stores too. Or whenever there's like a cashier or whatever, and they have an unusual name, I'm like, okay, I'm an Adeline, so I'm like so curious. How do you say your name? It's just I like to know.
Your name, it just makes me think of Madeline, so I'm like, just remove
I know,
the-
it's so
remove
easy.
the M.
It's so
Adeline.
easy. So easy. I don't get it.
It's all good.
It is.
I'll just keep drinking wine.
Yes. Cheers, ladies.
I have an empty glass. I hear it's bad luck
We
to
could
cheers
pour you-
with an empty
It
glass.
is.
No, you
please
can't do
hold.
that. Yeah, please hold.
Sorry,
Please
guys.
hold
Gotta
it.
hold
We
up
have
the
to-
show.
Yeah, no, we have to pour wine. This is a catastrophe. Hold on, my glass is getting low too.
It was like halfway.
I know.
That
God
is
forbid,
low.
I hate that half a glass.
It's a small.
Oh,
it's like
dear.
a
All right, so
normal
cheers.
Cheers, lady.
size- Cheers.
To real estate and wine.
to
That's
real
right.
estate, wine,
And
and
food.
food,
Yeah,
and
once you-
leadership, Mohawk Valley.
Yes, absolutely.
Do you know anybody that's in the class of 18 yet?
I do. I know Tanya Davis, who works at Rome Clean and Green. She is in this year's class of 2018.
Rome Clean and Green has been doing a lot.
Yes, that's who we supported when we wrapped gifts for Christmas at Copper
Yes.
City this year. We were taking donations for Rome Clean and Green. They do a lot of great things in the community as far as with recycling and the environment.
Yeah,
and-
well, keeping the trails clean and yeah,
That's good
There's
stuff.
been a lot of projects they've been involved in.
I'm
They're
not sure
doing
if I
great
know
things.
anyone else. I may, but we had our holiday mixer and back in December, and a lot of the class of 18 was there, and I didn't necessarily notice that I knew anyone else. But
Right.
there's some classes. It's really funny. Like I think it's class of 2012. I know so many people from that one class. I was just kind of looking at who had participated in the program after I had signed up for it and interviewed, and I was like, oh my gosh, I know like half of class of 2012. It was really funny, but a lot of people locally have participated in that program, and again, like I said before, it was a great experience, and I have so many good things to say about it. So that's why I keep mentioning it. But it was kind of like once in a lifetime. I mean,
Well, yeah, you can't really go back and do it again.
so it
You
really
only
is
get
once
to
in a
do it once.
lifetime. But I guess I, maybe could after like 20 or 30 years. But
That'd be interesting.
Maybe
I
go
know,
back
right?
as
To
a
see-
guest speaker.
You can do that,
You
actually.
take this class and look where you can end
you
up.
can do that actually.
Well, Estad did that. Sean.
Yep.
L'Oreal. Yeah.
Yep, there's a lot of people who have participated in the program who go back to serve on the board or have helped teach about something on a program day, or they become mentors for the group projects. Each group every year
There you
gets,
go. You
gets a
could always
mentor
do
who's been
that.
through the program. So
Yeah. I could see you being a very good mentor.
thank you.
You know, you have that touch to you.
Thank you.
Where you like to teach.
I do. I graduated from the Instructor Training Institute. It's called the ITI designation. It's for teaching real estate classes, and it was a really intense few-day program that I did, not this past summer, but the one before, so in 2016. Really, really awesome experience. So I love teaching in real estate, especially technology type
Oh,
things,
God,
because I'm such a
yes.
nerd. So I love teaching about that kind of stuff, and technology is so important in our business in real estate these days. So it's really
it's
something.
vital. If you're not into technology, if you're not on social media, you're really missing the boat. And so are your sellers for not having that advertising.
Can people really sell real estate these days, though, without being with technology?
I mean, and
You
I'm
can't-
sure
you
it's
can't be
not
successful,
effectively,
though.
but-
probably
Yeah.
not effectively.
Yeah.
I can honestly say not effectively
Yeah.
because at least 96,
All the
98% of
websites.
your buyers are looking online. That's where they start their search.
I mean, what are you
Absolutely.
gonna do? Like, put your billboard on a bench, a
yeah, no,
bus
it's-
bench? Yeah,
no.
it's just
Yeah,
not
online
done that way
marketing,
anymore.
some
It's
some
everything.
sellers these days, we're not heavy on print advertising, and that's because it's
Nobody's reading it.
nobody's reading it anymore. Everybody's on the internet, and some sellers are die hard on print, and they want to see that listing of theirs in print, but it's really not where the strong pull is for finding buyers. So
Well,
It's
I
easier
was
to go
spending-
online.
It is. Well, I was spending $300 a month on, a full page ad, and I won't even say what paper, but a local, homes paper, and I got zero return. And
Yeah.
it's like, really? Because I put $50 on Facebook and I have 4 sales.
yeah, I mean, it keeps you relevant being in print. People continue to see your face
Right. Well,
when
I
they look
took the
at it.
300 down to
Yeah.
50, believe me.
Yeah, when they look at it, and print is great for certain things. Like I love books.
Yeah,
And
well, I do love to
like
read,
picking
too.
up a newspaper every once in a while versus seeing articles online. So print is awesome, but for us in marketing, it's kind of the most important for us to market our listings where people will find them.
And see, I'm a reader too. I cannot read something online. I will actually physically, if there's a 4 or 5 page document I have
Yep.
to read, I will print it and read it because that's how I retain it.
Yeah.
Well, even then,
So
you
coming
can, like,
from somebody who
highlight-
actually reads print material more than I do online, I still don't advertise in print because I'm not getting it. It's nobody's doing it anymore.
Well, the other day, just because I was looking online at houses, like it's like it's like a whim. You can go online and look at them,
Yeah.
but
And
on a
there's no
whim, am I
pressure.
gonna leave my house and go and get some print? Like,
No.
yeah, there is no pressure.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just like, oh, instead of going on Facebook, let me go on this
Yeah.
website here
Right.
and look at
And
some
that's
houses.
again why like photos and staging
Right.
are just so important. Like back in the day, so to speak, when you just looked at a front photo of the house in a magazine, you had to wait to get inside of it to know what the inside looked like. But these days there's just so much being thrown out there that you want your house to look great to these people. When they're scrolling on real estate websites and there's big high def photos in their face, they're going to notice everything. They're going to notice the magnets on your fridge. They're going to notice the burnt out light bulbs. They're going to notice your dog
Right.
sleeping on the recliner. They're
The
going to
fact that you
notice
didn't vacuum.
Yeah, the fact that you didn't vacuum your unmade bed. Like it is a lot of pressure for sellers for sure. But that's why we're here, is to help them along
Right.
with that and point out those things, because in everyday life you don't necessarily have to make your bed perfectly, or you could live with a burnt out bulb for a couple days, but
Right.
when the house is being photographed, it's
gotta be
so
perfect.
noticeable.
Well, the pictures live forever.
Mm-hmm.
They live forever.
And even
They
then,
do.
that's what captures your attention to begin with, mainly,
It is. It is.
It's all about advertising, something that catches your eyes.
Yeah.
Makes
But one
you
of my
interested.
pet peeves is, and you don't do this, so I don't want to
Yeah.
insinuate, Amanda Reinfelds does not do this.
Okay.
But when we have a $40,000 shanty and the pictures are bastardized so much by Photoshop that this house looks like it should be on the cover of, Country Esquire.
Uh-huh.
Really? Because when I bring my buyer in there and the
It's a
tiles are
letdown.
falling from the ceiling, they would have been fine had you presented
An accurate.
an accurate
Yep.
depiction of the house. But you bastardizing the picture, not you.
Yes.
Other people, not Amanda, bastardizing the pictures so much.
You get
it
their
ultimately
expectations
disappoints
up.
them. They may
Yeah.
have bought that house had they not seen those pictures before, but now after they saw the pictures, they're let down.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what expectations are. You build their expectations, and then
Yeah, I mean, there's nothing wrong. I'm a huge proponent of boosting like the brightness or the saturation or
absolutely.
things like that, because the camera doesn't see a room the way your eyes do, and that's why you have photo
yeah.
editing software to help a photo look more like the room when your eyes see it.
But you don't
But-
stretch.
That's
Right.
the
A room.
difference,
Right.
though. That's the difference between enhancing
Yeah.
versus
And bastardizing.
altering a photo. We can call it
Yeah.
altering
We're not-
a
I mean,
photo.
In real
as
estate,
well.
we call them bastardizing.
We're not
well.
supposed to actually alter a photo.
No.
So if something
Same
is
for
in the
forensics.
photo,
You can
No.
enhance certain
yep,
things.
you
but
can't
cannot
remove
alter.
things or add
Oh,
things.
and we've heard situations recently even
Yeah.
where telephone poles were removed.
Yeah.
And it's like, no, that power line is running through the backyard. You can't just
Really?
pop that. Yeah.
I mean, that's some skill, though.
No,
removing
that's
a telephone-
bastardizing a
I'm
picture.
just saying, removing a telephone pole. You put a lot of effort into that.
That's a lot of
That's a
Photoshop
little-
time.
Yeah,
It's a
that's
little
what I'm
race.
saying. That's exactly what I'm saying. You have
Yeah.
some skill. Use it for
But
something
there
else.
was actually recently a case, I think it was maybe in Australia or New Zealand, where there was a giant water tower behind a house that was for sale, and the agent did not do any photoshopping or removing of items in the photo, but they took the
angled.
photo at such an extreme angle that you could not see the water tower in any of the photos. And I believe that agent got themselves in some trouble because it was not an
A
accurate
misrepresentation.
Yep, it was a misrepresentation of the house. It was not an accurate depiction. So, it's one thing to be like, oh, the garbage can is right there. I'm going to kind of move the photo over so you don't see it, because the garbage can is not a permanent fixture.
Well, no, you
but
can
that
move
water
it.
tower's not moving.
Yeah,
No.
it's not going anywhere.
And of course, you don't want to shoot a photo showcasing the water tower, but you kind of
kinda
should
have
hide
to
it
say
from every
that,
single
yeah.
photo.
Yeah. There should be one. Like, if you have 24 photos, the 24th should have a corner.
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, it's tough, though. There's a lot of rules.
There's a lot of rules. So if you're out there and thinking about selling your house and you're going to call the Property Sisters of the Mohawk Valley or call me, better be ready for us to come through and tell you how we like it staged, because we don't want any burnt out light bulbs. We don't want magnets and pictures on the fridge.
No.
Your kids' drawings are super cute when you're living there, but they're not super cute when they're in a photograph. So
And vacuum.
Yes, and vacuum.
Cobwebs.
Vacuum, make the bed.
Like, there's
put the
nothing-
toilet seat down, for God's sake.
Oh,
like,
Jesus, I
put
hate that.
the toilet seat down.
That, I mean, like, really, literally, not even a full second to just slap it down.
Yep.
I hate that.
Yep. Remove the dog, hide the cat in the cat's favorite room, or, I don't know, I'm kind of like a cat whisperer, so maybe if it's me,
Well,
I can just kind
usually
of
the cat's
cuddle
by
the
my
kitty
feet.
as I'm taking the photos. But
Yeah, usually I have the pet by my feet, and so they're out of the picture.
Yeah, that's why.
seriously, though, if you're out there and you're thinking about listing your house, the best thing to do to declutter before a photo session or before a showing is to just get a bunch of like baskets or plastic bins and literally load all the clutter from the surfaces in that bin, and then you can put it away later. Or you can just pack things away, because if your house is for sale, you're moving anyway.
Yeah, and
so
they need to
might
go.
as well get a head start
They
on
need to go.
packing.
I like that
because-
idea. Clutter is not attractive. Nobody
No, I
wants-
usually travel with a laundry basket.
I had a client, if she's watching right now, she's going to crack up. She had a small house and they were selling so they could upsize. They had a couple kids since they bought their house and wanted some more space. And she used to put the high chair from the dining table in her car because there was like nowhere to hide it. So every showing she would take the high chair and put it in the trunk of her car along with like bins of laundry and bins of toys, because it was a cute tiny little house, and just there wasn't anywhere to hide those things. And I thought it was fantastic. I remember getting that first text from her where she's like, okay, the car is loaded with the high chair, the laundry, everything else, and I'm driving around in circles with it in there.
You get a selfie from the car, and it's just her, and all you can see on the back is household furniture.
Yes. Load up the family, load up the pets, load up the high chair and the laundry, and just drive
Got
in
the high
circles.
chair, honey. We're going.
Yep.
That's funny. But it does. It you know what? Selling a house is work. It really is.
lot
And
of
I
work.
always tell my sellers, I said, it's not going to be pleasant, but we'll make it as stress-free and quickly as possible.
That's what got you into this, isn't it? We were selling our house.
Yeah. Yeah. And Jay recruited me.
And you took your classes online as well.
I took my
remember
classes
getting
online.
home from school. She'd be on the computer as well, doing her schooling.
Yep.
Yep. Good times.
Yeah. That was fun.
There's always schooling in real estate.
Well, yeah.
We're
I think
always
Definitely.
a
taking
lot
some
of
kind
fields are
class.
always, just advancing more to learn.
Yeah, we have 22 and a half hours of continuing education that we have to meet. And
Yep, every 2 years.
yeah, I always exceed it. I'm an education
yeah.
junkie.
Oh,
I
yeah.
love
I love-
learning new
me
things.
too.
I get bored so easily.
Me too. Me too.
That's
There's
why I
always
need
so
a
much.
field where things are just always different. The same routine, mundane, every
No,
day.
see, forensics is
Oh.
perfect for you. Why don't you get into real estate? Every day is different.
Because I don't like people. That's why I work with
I
dead
know, but
people.
I've tried to talk you into this a couple of times, and
You
you're just
know-
not.
You can be an introvert and still be in real estate.
Yeah, you can. Look, Amanda.
I don't want to say I don't like people, because I do like people.
No,
but
I
I am
like
an
people,
introvert.
but you like you
I
like
like
your
alone
alone time.
Absolutely. Sometimes it does get to be kind of people overload, but then I chill for a little bit, and
Right.
I'm ready to
Relax
people
a
again.
minute.
I'm ready for the peoples.
I don't ever get that people
I
feel.
think you
know
could
what
do
I
it.
mean? I don't get it. No.
You have people.
Yeah, I do have my people, but there are a select few people, and I don't choose my people when I go into real estate. Otherwise, I probably wouldn't be very successful.
Actually, yes, you do.
You can
When I
choose
run
a-
into an asshole,
my
trust
people
me,
are not that vast.
I'm
I
not
promise
working with you. So if you called me and I didn't call you back, you're probably an asshole. There's nobody I don't call back. I can get along with anybody.
Friend request.
Sorry, I added you for 45 minutes and then deleted you.
Yeah,
I
see,
don't-
you guys are the assholes.
No,
I get along
I
with
don't-
everybody. You
I
guys
don't have to
befriend
add
people
you,
in
and I
20
don't have to
minutes.
explain myself if I delete you. I have like 200 Facebook friends, all right? I add people that I talk to because I am an introvert, and I'm not in a business
You're
where I
very
need
private.
to have a lot
Yeah.
of friends.
No, you're not.
I tried it once. Maybe this person posted a ton of shit, and I was just like, you know what? I made a mistake. I'm going to unfriend.
You know, for the
I gave you a
longest-
chance. I'm done with you.
For the longest time, I would only add people that I like regularly talk to, and
Me
then
too.
after a few years in real estate, I was like, don't know if I can do that anymore. And you know, it's not like I'm posting anything on Facebook that people can't see. Everything's about hiking and cats and wine and houses and food. But being an introvert, that is a hard thing about social media. Is it can be intrusive. Obviously, it's up
Right.
to you as to what
Yeah.
you want to post and all of that. But if you are an introvert, a lot of things can seem personal that might not seem personal to other people, and then you start
Well, I
adding
think
people you
yeah.
don't know, and it's like, oh, that person knows what I had for dinner last night and I've never even met them.
Well, even then, I'd rather see things from people that I know. I feel like my Facebook already, I don't see everything from all of my 200 friends.
Well,
and
you
then-
don't.
Yeah,
That's-
no, I
that's
don't.
what the
So
So I
unfollow
don't need
is
these people
for.
that I don't really
Right.
know that well. Cool, you ate that or whatever. Like, I don't know you. I don't care. I'd rather see what Amanda's eating because it's probably looking awesome.
Well, yeah, because shit, we know Amanda's cooking up something good.
Or wine. I swear to God, I took a screenshot of that bottle of wine that your one of the people you sold a house to got.
Oh,
I was
in
like,
the
I'm
Finger Lakes,
trying
yeah.
this. I was like, I'm gonna try this. I gotta screenshot it.
Oh yeah.
That was so funny. He didn't even know you liked Finger Lakes wines.
No,
and
I met this gentleman randomly. I want to say like he just inquired about a house through a website online, and I responded to his inquiry and showed him the house the same night. He told me there were other houses he wanted to see, so I said, you know, I have a busy day tomorrow, but I said I could do first thing in the morning if that's not too early for you. It was a Sunday, and not like Sundays matter in our job, I guess, but
A
it
day
was
is
a
a day.
Sunday, and it was nice because he was really appreciative that I got up early on my Sunday morning to cram him into my schedule, and he showed up with, you know, this bag that I could see a bottle of wine was in it, and he handed it to me and was like, thank you so much for fitting me in your schedule today. I really appreciate it.
So
and
sweet.
It was really nice to be appreciated that way because
I feel like that would make anybody's day.
absolutely. I
Yeah.
mean, sometimes, you know, I'm sure you know this, in our job, we aren't appreciated. And a lot of times we are too, and that's really fantastic. But
absolutely.
sometimes we're not appreciated. So when someone shows that kind of appreciation, it's really, really,
really does
nice.
hit
It's a
you.
great gesture. And I only met him once prior to this time, and it was a bottle of Finger Lakes wine from a winery that I really, really like, and it was a nice bottle.
It
Something
looks
that I'll
nice,
kind of
that's
save
why.
for a special occasion because I don't want to just drink
Just
it
drink
up.
it because it's
That's how I am with my wine collection. I think I have maybe, gosh, I don't know, 50 or so bottles just of Finger Lakes at home. And I just
How many
kinda
are you
like-
saving,
Oh, God, so many. Because I love them so much.
Amanda? Life is short.
Drink
Drink
the
the
wine.
wine.
Drink the wine. Yeah,
I know,
knew
life
it.
is short.
I knew it.
Drink the
Some of them I just like admire though. Like I want to take like inventory of my collection and admire them and recall my tasting experience. And when I went to
Yeah.
that winery, it's so nerdy, I know. But
No,
I have-
actually, I
yeah.
think it's funny because when I was thinking about getting my own house, I was like, I'm gonna have a cellar and I'm gonna keep some nice wine down there.
Well, and I had a couple of bottles that have since, you know, been discontinued or no
Yes.
longer available.
Oh God, oh God! Somebody may have seen a bottle of wine that they really wanted to open and try, and they didn't know it was discontinued.
But they didn't ask.
oh, is that somebody in this room?
That somebody might be in this
Do you
room.
want to talk about your feelings?
So this
That
is
somebody's
going-
mother might have seen that somebody else that was in this room was in the Finger Lakes that weekend. But they were still out.
By the way, I got you those couple bottles one of the times. I was
Those
out
were
there.
delicious.
Yeah, you like those?
Yeah.
Those were from J.R. Dill.
We shared those.
Yeah, we did.
I tasted those with you in mind.
Those were really, really good.
Glad you liked them.
Now you were out there and needed a walkthrough or something.
Yeah, you did something for me.
Like
it
a
was a
final
final
walkthrough,
walkthrough. Yeah,
yeah.
it was a final walkthrough up
Like
on
a
a house in
closing
Marcy.
kind of snuck up on you.
Snuck
know
up on
what?
me, and I was going to be away, and that's the amazing thing about
Having faith.
Yes, that's the amazing thing about working at Coldwell Banker Faith Properties is I have so many people who can back me up if I'm taking a much needed day off.
Yeah.
Because we all need that sometimes.
And believe
for
me,
sure.
the wine was appreciated.
And I feel like
You're
you all do
welcome.
that though too. That's very nice
do.
how you all do that.
Yeah. Well, it's family. I don't really feel like it's a company or, your colleagues. It's
No, I really don't get that feel either, honestly. As an outside, well, all right, fine, I'm your family, but like as
Right.
someone that's not in that family, I kind of do feel like you're all a family because it seems like there's always
Well,
someone very willing to help you out.
That's the tone
like
that John Brown sets, though.
Yeah.
Your tone is set by your broker.
Yeah, absolutely.
And he hired a phenomenal office manager in Keith Vincelette.
Ooh, props to Keith.
Yeah, definitely. Because honestly, dealing with all of us, because we're all independent contractors. We're all strong people. We're all
independent personalities.
We are. We're very
yeah.
We have strong personalities, and he deals with all of them.
Yeah.
And it is like a family.
For
I
sure.
mean, sometimes you're going to have a fight with your brother Henry, or your sister
or your
Patty.
sister Amanda. No, I'm just kidding.
and it's a lot to reel in, and he does it really well. And John
Yeah.
sets the tone.
Absolutely.
He really does. We don't pray to the dollar. It's not going to be a business where you have to make,
I
this
like
person
that saying,
buy
you
a
don't
house.
pray to the dollar.
We don't. We don't pray to
I
the
know,
almighty
but that's
dollar.
Still nice. That's
No,
the first
not
time
at all.
I've
I
heard
mean, this
that.
I
is-
love that about John.
This is
You
our
don't-
job, and the point of a job is,
You have
is
to
to
make
make
money.
money so you can live and enjoy your lifestyle. But
you don't have to
it's-
screw people to do it.
No, not at
No.
all.
And that's-
Never. And it's all about helping people. Like we're not here to be salespeople.
No, no.
I feel
I
like
hate that word.
I know
am not a
technically we're
salesperson.
real estate salespeople as per our
I
licensing.
hate having
but
that. I would rather have real estate customer service because that's what I do.
Yep.
I serve you. What do you need?
Yeah.
That's what I'm serving you with today.
Absolutely. It's not, I mean, it is sales because we are helping someone buy or sell something,
Right.
but it's not like you are a salesperson. It's
No.
a totally different vibe, and you get invited into people's lives.
Oh, you are.
You learn so
well, come
much.
on. Really, you do get some intimate details. I mean, with how
Absolutely.
people live and how they
Yeah.
function. I mean, who else knows that?
Well, you don't really invite many people into your home either,
Right.
It's very
You
personal.
get invited
Yeah.
into their home, and you start running around.
You help
and
them find their home.
moving the things off their countertops.
Oh my God, I
their
know. And you're
fridge
walking around
and-
with your laundry basket, swiping
Yeah.
off their counter and taking their kids' pictures off the fridge. Yeah, you're intimate at that
The
point. You're-
macaroni art.
Yeah, the macaroni art once that goes.
Uh-huh. You know what's so funny is
Your friends.
after doing this for like 9 years, I am so used to just like making myself at home in everybody's house that I kind of like, no matter where I'm going, whether it's real estate or not, I kind of just like kick my shoes off and start flicking on lights in people's houses, and they're like, okay, like you just kind of have that intuition, like where light switches are.
I
know the drill.
I actually started staging a friend's house one time, and it was just like, I mean, it was just one of those things where everything was so out of place and the room really didn't function that well. And I just walked in and I wasn't even thinking about it. And I just moved one little thing. And when I moved that one little thing, then I had to move the other thing that was in that spot. And then I moved like 5 or 6 things before I realized they're looking at me like, what the frick are you doing? And I'm like, shit.
This is just
I'm
you going to
rearranging.
someone's house to hang out.
Well, the thing is, it's such a relatable.
But they're friends, so they kind of know I'm wacky anyway, so they're used to me.
It's such a relatable topic too. Like everybody lives in some kind of structure, and they're all for the most part interested in either the structure itself or the decor or the
Right.
location, the neighborhood. Like seems like almost everybody is interested in real estate to some
Oh,
degree.
absolutely.
Or home decor, architecture, something or another. So it comes up all the time. There's so many times where I go to parties and it's like, I'll be like, oh, I'm not going to work today. I'm not going to work
I'm
today.
not talking real
And people are
estate.
like, how's the market? Can you help me pick a paint color for my bedroom? Hey, I'm thinking of remodeling my kitchen. Maybe if you just come over here for like 15 minutes, you can give me some advice on that. It's like, it's all the time and no complaints at all. I love
know.
it because this is my life. But it's just so funny. Like, I don't think people who work in like computer science go to a party and
Yeah, no.
have other people like, hey, let me ask you this question about I don't know, computer science things Amanda doesn't know
It's
about.
funny that you say that, though, because it kind of made me think of how, like, nurses or doctors are probably
True.
the
Oh my God,
same.
yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I mean? Like,
Yeah, like you're a doctor and you're at a party and you're like, oh, you're a doctor? I got this rash.
or like even going to family events where they know and they're like,
Right.
listen,
I had this thing going on.
My bunions.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm glad I don't have to look at anyone's bunion.
Oh, God almighty.
No, just their kitchen, not their bunion.
Yeah, I would have to draw the line at a rash. I'm good with a bathroom.
Yep.
Yeah. I'll crawl through your basement crawl space.
Oh, yeah.
I don't want to know anything
See,
about
you
a
know,
rash.
I don't think I'd get grossed out. I'd be like, where is it?
I recently
Yeah.
had a potential seller say to me, now they have a beautiful home. It's immaculately kept, and they have a great attic there that it looks like an attic. It's not finished or anything, but it's an immaculate house. And they were like, that's the attic. You don't really want to go up there. It's kind of, and I'm like, really? You have no idea the kind of attics I have been in before. Like, I've had bats flying in my hair practically. I've crawled through some weird basements where I'm getting covered in cobwebs.
Oh, God, I
Like,
can't even, yeah.
I'm always that agent who, when my clients are like leery about going in a basement, I'm like, don't worry, I'll go first. And then there's cobwebs coming at me.
It's the
and-
moldy spiders.
Yeah.
It's the
Yes,
dead
the, like,
spiders,
mummified
that
spiders.
get moldy and they're like white
Yes.
and calcified.
They're like mummies.
I'm not gonna lie. At first, when you said that, I
can't do
pictured
it.
you lighting a torch. Follow me, guys.
That's kind of how I am with my iPhone.
Laura
I'm
Croft.
like-
For real, like I got this.
I'm like,
guys, follow
swipe
me.
up iPhone flashlight. And it's great when you kind of whip out your phone flashlight at the same time as your clients.
Oh, yeah.
And it's all like simultaneous.
Bam.
You're like, bam, let there be light. But I'm always that person who goes down in the creepy basement or up in the creepy attic first. And they're like, oh my God.
It's funny though, because
And they
she
wonder why
hates spiders.
They wonder why we'll show up to showings in jeans. Well, let me think. I'm showing $40,000 foreclosures today.
Without heat, and it's negative
it's
20
20
wind chill.
below zero, and the house is 20 degrees colder inside than it is outside. Let me put on my mini skirt.
Your
No.
heels too. Don't forget those.
Nope.
No, not happening.
Oh gosh, I have my like winter real estate socks on so much lately, and I kind of like, I'm sort of self-conscious about them, but also not.
No.
So they literally look like hunting socks or something. They keep my feet
With
so
the gold
warm.
toes? Do you have the gold
Nope,
toes?
they're not gold toe. I like Smart Wool.
Oh, okay.
Smart Wool is my favorite, but I
yep.
have a few different brands
Yep.
of like wool warm like ski socks or like,
I've got my Irish
literally
wool
like
going.
hunting
I love
socks.
the alpaca
Irish wooled up.
socks.
Yes.
Alpaca when I went to Iceland.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's nice.
Those, yeah.
Yeah, but I put on these goofy looking socks, and you can't dress up so much this time
You
of year
can't.
because you're in and out of the car. And then the worst thing is boots on, boots off, boots on, boots off. If you have like 10 showings in one day and you're constantly taking your boots on and off, it's such a pain. And it's not
Yeah,
like,
because your socks end up in them half of the time.
well, and the socks end up wet because everyone else is coming in the door with their wet boots, and then you step through it as you're walking around. So I have to carry like 4 pairs of socks with me. You know, hashtag the struggle is real. First world problems, but it's like things people don't think about in our business. I was having this conversation with someone when I was showing a house last night. They stepped in some water by the door and were like, my socks are wet. And I was like,
Oh, I got 4 pair.
yeah, welcome to my life. I have like 4 pairs of socks in the car.
Even then, I mean, obviously you guys have to look presentable, but are you selling you or the house?
It's true. I think the way that you
Well, on some level, you're selling your skill set.
That's why I
Because
said
you
on
really-
some level,
Yeah.
you know, like you need
But
to
no,
look presentable.
You know what? I'm going to
You're not
know.
gonna show up in
I'm going to
sweatpants.
know exactly what I know, whether I'm in an evening gown
Oh, I know, mother.
or I'm in a pair of jeans and a t-shirt. I know my shit.
It's true. I mean, I think
And
the way you dress says a lot about whether you care about the
Right.
situation,
Right.
whether you care about meeting someone new. Like, not gonna lie, when I meet someone new, I'm
Oh,
a
yeah.
whole lot more dressed up than if I'm showing
Yep.
a house to a friend.
Yep.
There's actually like a meme out there on social media with
Oh my
like,
God, I
think it's
know. Yeah.
Muppets maybe, or just some kind
it's
of like
me
little
showing
character.
a regular client and me showing a friend, and you show
Yeah.
up in like pajamas, no
Yeah.
makeup, your hair's all
Yeah, absolutely. But I mean, it's
Bottle
such
of
a
wine.
it's not a glamorous job. It's a fantastic job, but it's not glamorous. Like, we're not on HGTV in California.
Oh, God.
Where we walk into the house and we can have our like $1,000 suit on with our designer heels and
No, because we're
prance
actually
around.
dealing with basements and mold
yeah.
and moldy spiders, mummified, hanging in your
She hates
face.
spiders. That's why
I do. I know. I can't get. I can't
moldy
get past
spiders
those
are getting
moldy
brought up a lot.
spiders.
Yeah, that's why the moldy
Oh,
spiders.
they
are
just-
getting
I'm
brought
always
up so
fascinated
much.
by them. I'm that person with the flashlight who's like shining it on the spider, like, oh, look, we have a mummy here.
No. See, I'll save you a few.
How about like when there's dead rodents or something? I've definitely removed a few dead rodents from houses.
Now, see, the saddest thing I ever saw was we were in a vacant, unheated house, and a mouse had gone in to try and find shelter, and it was freezing to death. Like, this mouse was not going to make it. And I'm like looking, and I'm like, oh my God, this mouse is dying. And you could see that he was like just barely breathing. So I scoop him up in this little box.
Aww.
And I put him on the front passenger side,
Oh, you took the mouse
floor.
with you?
I did. I took the mouse with me.
Oh my gosh.
In a box.
Wow, I think
To
this
try
is
and-
why I'm a terrible person. I'd be like, we need to put it out of its misery. Like,
No,
let's kill it.
your sister got this part of me. You didn't. Your sister would save the mouse and the hummingbirds, but
Oh no,
So-
most definitely.
so I've got this mouse and I'm going down the street and I'm like, fuck. Nope, he's gone. He did not make it.
He didn't make
Did
it.
you guys
Didn't
see
make it. And I was
a
so
squirrel
sad because I,
literally
like,
froze climbing up a tree? I saw this online. You guys are talking about your Muppets memes. A squirrel literally froze going up a tree. Like, you can see it mid
locally or just like
I have
somewhere
no
in, like,
idea.
the
It's on
Northeast where
Facebook.
it's cold?
Probably
well, I hope he
not
wasn't
locally.
a local squirrel.
Oh God, not the local squirrels.
Well, what the hell?
I mean, all squirrels they do matter, but
They do.
Locally,
All
it's
squirrels
even-
matter.
it's
Especially
even
our
more
local
sad.
squirrels.
I know.
We got nuts to eat. They like keep
No,
Maybe they'll
comment.
scare- maybe
no comment.
maybe they'll scare the crows away.
Never know. How about like the iguanas falling out of trees in Florida? Is
Oh
that
my God,
for
that
real?
was weird.
Is that for
Yeah,
real? Because I
that's
didn't
real.
actually like click on it and read it.
When I went to Puerto Rico, though, they had a whole infestation of them, and they're talking about how they're invasive species and they're taking over
Iguanas?
things. Yeah, I feel like you should try
Was it
eating
iguanas?
them.
I don't know. It was some kind of
Eat
lizard.
an iguana?
Yeah, I mean, if it's a problem and it's taking over things and
Do
just
people eat them?
How would you
actually,
prepare
I
an
heard,
iguana?
I don't know. Maybe
Amanda?
cook it over a fire.
Amanda.
Cook it over a fire.
Amanda.
Pair an iguana with a wine. I'm
Yeah.
almost feeling like it would need a white wine.
Yeah, because it's probably
it's
like
not a red
chicken.
meat. Yeah,
No,
it's probably along
like-
the lines of
tastes
like,
like chicken.
frog legs, maybe along those
Yeah.
lines.
Well, reptile.
I would think it would
I
taste
could
like
imagine.
It
Chicken.
might pair really well with this dry rosé. Maybe with like
What's his name? Let's call him.
what's his name?
Yeah. what's
Oh,
his name?
Kelby.
Let's call.
Yeah, I'm
Kelby.
sure Kelby James Russell, a graduate of Harvard, who's
is
also
going
a
to
wine
answer
expert.
our call and let us know what wine will pair with iguanas.
Yes,
Yeah.
maybe we can ask Alyssa her opinion on that when we talk
I'd
to
like
her
to
as
know.
well.
I'm going to.
Okay, but I think a white, possibly like a Gruner Veltliner. Citrus, something citrusy.
With the iguana.
yes, Gruner Veltliner with an iguana.
I could see the citrus with the iguana.
I'm telling you, put the iguana on a stick, cook it over.
Okay,
a
this
fire.
is really going further than I expected it to.
Yeah, this is not going
That's
to a
what
good
happens
place. This
when
is
you
like
talk
a dark.
to Danielle. Dark.
Yeah.
We go down some.
It goes downhill so far.
Can you believe she's my
Down.
child?
I have a really dark sense of humor, so I get it.
Well,
I'm like
yeah.
always giggling. I'm like hee hee hee, but I have such a dark sense of humor.
The first time I met you, I just was like, I loved you because it was like, okay, my daughter Danielle. You reminded me of her, and then I told Danielle, I was like, okay, I have a realtor I work with. She's like 19.
She's like 5.
She's 12, and she reminds me a lot of you.
Wait.
And then Danielle was like,
How much?
she is not like me.
How much younger is she than me?
I was
You're the
born-
same. She's
I was
over the
born
same.
in ready. Everybody hates when I say this. I was born in 90.
Oh, all right. I was born in
She's
91.
a couple of months old. You're, I think, 6 months older.
July.
Oh no, you're almost a year. You're 10 months older.
Oh, okay.
9 months older.
It was hilarious though. Earlier when we came in, apparently we both accepted their friend request
I
of
know.
someone, and we both deleted them
deleted
after
him.
like 45 minutes. I was like, that solidifies it. We are the same
I
person.
told you.
I do
I've
know
been
that.
telling you this
We
for
already
a
planned a
decade.
friend date with wine. What
Good.
more do you want?
Perfect.
We
You guys
tried
need
to
a friend
plan
date.
an aerial yoga date, but Danielle has a real job, so
I know.
Who the hell plans an aerial yoga class at 9:30 in the morning on a Friday.
It's for people like me.
Realtors.
I would love to be a mom that does like brunches and is
time-
married to some rich guy and like fine. But no.
You know this.
I'm going to support myself and I'm going to do the night yoga. Can we plan that?
Maybe we can
Yeah, I
find
bet
night
we can get
aerial
them
yoga.
to do a night aerial yoga.
I think they are actually. They mentioned something about in March doing that.
Okay.
So then
Well,
I'm
there you go.
definitely down for that.
Absolutely. You can drink
Yoga,
wine after,
wine,
or bourbon,
food.
or whiskey, or whatever.
I'm down for all those.
Or maybe before and after.
All right, we're gonna let you guys.
I like
yoga because I
carnitas
think-
tacos. I hear you're a big
now we got
taco
more
person.
tacos.
Yes, tacos. Always tacos.
All right,
And
well,
avocados.
we have been talking way too long,
Yep.
so we're gonna end this.
Aw.
Amanda's gonna do one more plug.
I'm going to do one more plug.
Yeah, because we like that. You sound so
right.
good. Hold on.
Okay.
Now a word from our sponsors.
In the Mohawk Valley, for the best real estate service, you gotta have faith. Caldwell Banker Faith Properties, 315-735-2222 or www.centralnyhomes.com.
And we want to thank you all for joining us tonight and talking a little bit about food, real estate, and wine. Leadership Mohawk Valley. Get your applications in, class of 2019. It's a great program from what Amanda says. And we want to thank Priceless Home Inspections, Josh Amodio, and Coldwell Banker Faith Properties for having faith and sponsoring us.
Woohoo.
And have a good night, everybody.
Yay!
Good night.
Bye.
This has been the Home Free Podcast with your host, Adeline Vandyke. Interested in buying a home? Look her up online at coldwellbankers.com/Adeline Vandyke or call 315-404-6431. Like us on Facebook at Home Free with Adeline.